Hello guys, welcome to Code with BK. So in this video, we'll see how to print the first n rows of a Pascal's triangle. So in the first half, I'm going to explain you the steps to solve this problem, and then we are going to look at the codes, the implementation part. So if you're someone who is just looking for codes, you can find the links to the codes in the description of this video. And to each link, there's a text explanation as well. So if you're somebody who wants to read and understand, you can take a look at that as well.
Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon to receive all the latest updates.
So what is a Pascal's triangle? You can Google that. I'm not going to go into details. It looks something like this. Okay. So this is the first row of the Pascal triangle, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, and then the sixth row would be. Okay. One more thing is I'm not going to use NCR anywhere in the code. Okay. So for people who know what NCR is, this is basically finding combinations. That is, you find R items out of n given items where order does not matter. Okay. For example, 2C0 is 1, 2C1 is 2, and 2C2 is 1. Why am I telling you this? Because each row can be calculated using NCR. So first row is basically 0C0, then next row is 1C0, 1C1, then third row is 2C0, 2C1, 2C2, okay, and so on. So I'm not going to use NCR anywhere in the code. I'm going to find another way to solve this problem. So and our focus right now is just to print the rows. To print it as a proper triangle using proper space formatting, we'll look at the end if we are able to do that or not. Okay, so for right now, I want to print the rows. So for say first 4 rows, I want output like something like this. Okay, the spacing does not matter. So the 5th row is going to be like this. We'll look at the end if we can format this as a proper triangle or not. So if you observe this triangle, first row is pretty simple. It's just 1. Second row is 1 followed by a space and a 1. Since third row onwards, I can generalize my processes. So for row number n greater than equal to 3, number of elements in this row is equals to I. So third row has 3 elements, fourth row has 4 elements, fifth row has 5 elements, and so on. First and last element is 1. So for all rows from 3 and above, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For all rows 3 and above, first and last element is 1. Okay. And then for all other elements, okay, except first and last, ith element is sum of ith plus I minus 1th element of previous row. For example, if we have a row for n equal to 3, so it will be having 3 elements. N is equals to 3, I have 3 elements. First and last, I set it to 1. And then ith element apart from first and last, so which is basically index 1. Okay, if I consider this row as an array, okay, so this would be index 1. So ith element, okay, apart from first and last is the sum of ith and I minus 1th elements of the previous row. So for n equal to 3, n is equals to 2 will be the previous row. It is going to be 1 and 1, this is 0 and 1. So for this, we find the value by adding the values of ith, which is index 1, and I minus 1, which is index 0. So this is basically 1 plus 1, so this is 2. So if I consider this as row, and this, if I consider this as previous row, so row of I is equal to previous row of I plus previous row of I minus 1. Consider this for n equal to 4, has 4 elements, okay. First and last is 1, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. Previous row in this case is going to be 3 elements, okay, 0, 1, 2. Previous row is 1, 2 and 1, 1, 2 and 1. Okay, this is for n equal to 4. So in this case, this is our previous row and this is our row. So row of I is previous row of I plus previous row of I minus 1. So in this case, it is 2 plus 1, so this is 3. In this case, it is 1 plus 2, it is 3. So you get the fourth row as 1, 3, 3, 1. So fourth row is 1, 3, 3, 1. So you can check it for the next row as well. So I quickly create another row. First and last is 1. This is this plus this 4. This is this plus this 6. This is this plus this 4. And then you have 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, which is the n is equals to 5. So n is equals to 5 is this. So we use this very same idea to generate rows greater than equal to 3. And we hard code first and the second row. So let's write the pseudocode for this. So writing a pseudocode that takes in the value of n and prints the n rows function print Pascal's triangle takes the value of n and prints n rows. So we can use a for loop that starts from 1, goes till n, and for each value of I, we print the ith row. So I say for I is equals to 1 to I is less than equal to n. So we are hard coding the row 1 and row 2. So if I equal to 1, okay, I simply print 1. Else if I equal to 2, I simply print 1 followed by 1. Else, so this is the case for I greater than equal to 3. Okay, I manufacture this row and print, and after I print each row, I change a line. Okay, I print backslash n to move on to the next row. Okay, so the first point is number of elements is n, so I can say row is an array of size I. Ith row has I elements. I set the first element to 1, I set the last element which will be at index I minus 1 to 1. For all the other indices, I set it equal to the ith and the I minus 1th. So since I'm already using I, I'm going to go with j. For j is equals to 1, since 0 is already set, till j is less than I minus 1. I minus 1 because we have to exclude the last element. So what do I say? Row of j is previous row of j plus previous row of j minus 1. So I need previous row, and since I am going to start generating rows in this manner for I equal to 3, starting from I equal to 3, so my first previous row should be for I equal to 3. So I can set my previous row as 1 comma 1, that is previous row for I equal to 3. So this is for row number n equal to 2. So now that you have generated this ith row, you print this row. So printing this row is very simple. All you need to do is print each element followed by a space. Okay, do not change the line because we are changing the line at the end. So if I write this print row method here, so you can pass maybe the size of this row as well. So writing the pseudocode function, so it takes row and size n. Okay, so this n is the size of this row. Okay, so you say I set to 0 while I is less than n. Okay, you print a row of I. Okay, you print a space, you do I is I plus 1 and you close the while. So there's one more thing left, is that is I set my previous row to the current row, so that for the next iteration, for iteration I plus 1, my previous row is this current row in this iteration I. And this is the pseudocode to print the first n rows of the Pascal triangle like this. So let's dry run this for n equal to 5. So n equal to 5, previous row is basically array with 2 elements as 1. Okay, I starts at 1. Okay, so for I1 you print 1. Okay, so if I take this as output, okay, I print 1 and I change line. Okay, this is printed and all this else part is skipped. Okay, and you change line, that is I have already done. Okay, so I'll remove this. Okay, this is understood that you change line by printing backslash n. We move on to the next value of I. So I now becomes 2. So if I is 2, you print 1 comma 1 space 1, 1 space 1. You skip all this else part. Okay, and you print this backslash n. So you change line. Okay, I becomes now 3. For this we use this else part. So in else part we create a row with size I. So row is now with size 3. Row 0 is 1, 0, 1, 2. Row I minus 1 is row 3 minus 1 is row 2 is 1. Okay. For j is equals to 1 till less than I minus 1. So starting from 1 till less than 3 minus 1, 2. So starting from 1 till less than 2. So it takes only value as 1. So row of 1 is previous row of 1 plus previous row of 0. So row of 1 is previous row of 1 plus previous row of 0. So this is 2. And j only takes value 1. Okay. You come out here, you print row with this I. So basically you follow this and you print 1, 2, 1. Following this, there will be a space after this as well, and then you change a line. Whereas we are changing right after this, you can fix that with an if condition here. Okay, I'm going to skip that. Alright. So you set previous row to row. So previous row now becomes 1, 2 and 1. You move on to I equal to 4 now. So again, row is array of size I, so array of size 4. Row of 0 is 1, row of 4 minus 1 is 3, so row of 3 is 1. Okay, j takes value starting from 1 till less than I minus 1 till less than 3, so j takes 1 and 2. Alright, so row of j is pr of j plus pr of j minus 1, row of 1 is pr of 1 plus pr of 0. So pr of 1 plus pr of 0 is 3. Okay, you move on to j equals to 2. So you say pr of 2 plus pr of 1. So pr of 2 plus pr of 1 is 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, so this is your row now. You print this, you get 1, 3, 3, 1. Again, an extra space after this because of this. You change a line. Okay, sorry, you said previous row first. So previous row now becomes this. So it is 1, 3, 1. Okay, and indices are 0, 2, and 3. I becomes 5 now. So we go to less than equal to n, less than equal to 5. We come to this part. Row is array of size 5. So it is of size 5 now. Okay. Row of 0 is 1. Row of 0 is 1. Row of I minus 1 is 5 minus 1 is 4 is 1. J takes values from 1 till less than I minus 1 till less than 4. So 1, 2, and 3. So it takes values 1, 2, and 3. Row of 1 is pr of 1 plus pr of 0. Pr of 1 plus pr of 0 is 4. Then row of 2 is pr of 2 plus pr of 1. Pr of 2 plus pr of 1 is 6. Then row 3 is pr of 3 plus pr of 2. Pr of 3 plus pr of 2 is 4. Okay. Then you print this row, so you get 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. Then you set previous row to row. Previous row now becomes this. Okay. So I took the last value. I becomes 6. The loop stops, and you get this as the output for n equal to 5. So now for the last bit, I will try to format this as this particular triangle. Let's see how. So if I have to print 5 rows, okay, so this is my last row. So I want no spaces before this character, okay. So in this case, I have 1 space before this row, 2 spaces before this row, 3 spaces before this row, and 4 spaces before the first row. So what do I do if I have to print, say, n is equals to 5 rows? So I have to print 4 spaces for first row, then 3 spaces for second row, 2 spaces for third row, 4 spaces for, 1 space for, okay, the fourth row. So what do? I basically write a function here. I say print n white spaces, and how many white spaces? I say n minus I. So for when n is 5 and I is 1, 5 minus 1 is 4. So for I equal to 1, it prints 4. For I equals to 2, 5 minus 2, 3, it prints 3 spaces. For 3, it prints 5 minus 3 is equals to 2 spaces. For 4, 5 minus 4, 1 space. And for last one, no space at all. Okay. You want the last row to be to the leftmost character. So this will look nice if you have n equal to 5. For n greater than equal to 6, right? You have double digits appearing. Okay. So they won't be aligned very well between 2 single digits. Okay. Because between 6 and 4 I have space, but 10 occupies 2 digits. So the shifting increases, right? So in that case, the spacing becomes complicated, and I'm not going to go into details of that. So if you want me to solve that as well, you can let me know that in comments. For now, I'm just going to skip this. This was just to give an idea if you can format this triangle as this Pascal's triangle or not. So I hope this was helpful. So please do like my video and subscribe to my channel, and let's move on to checking the codes now.
So this is the implementation of a solution. So I've written a helper method print row 1 that basically prints out the row 1 without changing a line. So this basically just prints 1. Similarly, we have print row 2 that prints 1 and 1, and we use print and not println, so line does not change. We also have this helper method print row that takes integer array, which is the row, and prints the entire row, each element followed by a space. So I used a while loop in a pseudocode, but I'm using a for loop here. The output is going to be the same. So this is our main method print first n rows that takes an integer n and prints out the first n rows of the Pascal's triangle. I'm starting my previous row as 1, 1, which is for n equal to 2, because I will be constructing my rows from n equal to 3 onwards. So I have I for the row numbers that starts with 1 and goes till n. I have added the code for printing the space. So for I equal to 1, print row 1, for I equal to 2, print row 2, and for I equal to 3 onwards, we manufacture the row. So we create an array of I locations. First and the last elements are set to 1, and then from 1 till less than row dot length minus 1, which is basically less than I minus 1, we set row of j is previous row of j plus previous row of j minus 1. We print the row and then we set the previous row to the current row. Finally, we change the line after printing the ith row. So let me print the first 5 rows of this Pascal's triangle. Java C print Pascal's triangle dot Java print Pascal's triangle. So I get this as the output because I've added spaces. Now let me make this for 7 rows. You see the spacing will be not that accurate now. You see, because we have double digit integers, so we'll have to adjust the spaces. If I take out the part that prints the spaces, okay, I will get all the rows. Alright. So I hope this video was helpful. So please do like this video and subscribe to my channel. And please let me know in the comments if there is anything not clear to in this video, if there is a concept you want me to discuss, or if there is a question you want me to solve. Thank you.